It's always a very special day. It's always very exciting when we have a chance to speak to the limousine riding, jet plane flying, kiss stealing, wheeling dealing, Mr. Often imitated, never duplicated, the living legend in many people's eyes, the greatest of all time, the 16-time world heavyweight champion, the nature boy, the pride of Charlotte, North Carolina, Ric Flair, joining us right here now off the top. Is he there? There he is. What a guy. Hello, Rick. How are you?
Hey, guys.
How's everything?
I'm great, man. Good.
It's great to talk to you, Rick. It's always an honor and a privilege to have you on the program. So much to get to with you as well. I know you were in Las Vegas for WrestleMania week. Were you at WrestleMania, Rick?
Yeah. No, I was, I watched all of it, of course. The only match that I missed was Roman's. But I had a function with Diplo at the Wynn, and I signed autographs for 3 days and just had a wonderful time. WrestleMania is a wonderful experience and all the people involved. And I mean, I can't say enough good about it. To me, it was very entertaining. I understand there's a lot of people under fire about it, but I found it very entertaining. And I was very surprised by the outcome of the Cody Rhodes, Randy Orton match, but they had a hell of a match. And Roman Reigns did the most professional interview I've ever heard. I'm a big junkie on ESPN. He came across as a real athlete, a real gentleman. It was like listening to Tom Brady.
I love that. Okay, so I love this breakdown, Rick, because as you just alluded to, there were some people, including myself, I'll be honest, who didn't love especially night one. I said that I felt like it felt soulless. It didn't feel like the big show that WrestleMania. I said that I felt it felt soulless with all the ads, with all the commercial breaks, with the entrances cut short.
Yeah. I'm not saying it's the greatest WrestleMania I've ever seen. I'm just saying,
But your opinion means more than mine. So I'm curious about what you liked about it. You said you liked
it doesn't. My opinion just means that I'm older. When I'm older, you have a different opinion, different perspective.
I saw you mentioned that you really enjoyed the main event between the Saturday main event between Cody and Randy. Could you tell us from your perspective? You are an expert at this. You're one of the great. Why did you like this so much?
Oh, I just thought there were so many great moves, and they both are. Randy is technical as hell. Cody is technical. Two young guys. I mean, Randy's been in the business 20 years, but he's young. He's come back from a bad back injury, and I just thought they put on a tremendous show. I actually was surprised by the finish, but I love them both, and at the end of the day, as you know, my saying is, it's not who wins or loses. It's about who entertains the crowd the most.
Of course. Your amazing daughter, Charlotte, was in action. I want to mention to you that at WrestleMania 41 last year, her match against Tiffany Stratton lasted a little bit over 19 minutes. Her tag match that she was involved in lasted just about 8 minutes and 30 seconds. And that seemed to have been the theme of the weekend. The matches were a lot shorter. What did you think of her match and the fact that there were so many shorter matches this year?
Well, I didn't like her match at all. And I think that Ashley needs to be, and I know she enjoys her relationship with Alexa, but if Ashley is not in a title picture right now in my life, and as a spectator, and I meet a lot of people, a lot of athletes, I travel around the world. Without her in a main event in a singles match, the match she had with Rhea Ripley last year or 2 years ago, they've never had a match like that ever in the history of women's wrestling. And Rhea can go as well. So I'm putting them both over. Rhea won the match, but there was no winner, no loser. that suplex off the second rope, the German. Come on, please. Doesn't happen in real life.
There was an amazing video that has kind of gone viral of you, I believe, watching her on Friday night, and you got very emotional. This video right here, which I'm sure you've seen, you lived it.
Yeah.
Can you tell us what brought you to tears here? Why did you get so emotional in that moment watching your daughter walk out?
Because she has accomplished so much and has become, she is beyond great. And everybody wants to say, oh, Ric Flair, Ric Flair, bullshit. She did it on her own. I have had very little to do. We talk about it. The only time we ever have an argument in life is when we talk about wrestling. And I'm just proud of her. And every time I get to see her, and if that entrance wasn't the greatest entrance of all time, tell me what was.
I'm curious about those friendly father-daughter arguments. Like, what do you guys debate? The matches, finishes, the state of the business? What do you guys? I mean, I think we would all love to be a fly on the wall listening to you two talk about the craft.
No, she just goes like I'm. She'll say, "You're reading the internet." I said, "So are you. You're all over it, and so am I. Why at 75 am I on the internet? I'm at 77. I mean, really, I know who I am. I know what I've accomplished. I know what I've done. I feel like, and I do feel this way, that I should have a red carpet wherever I go. And I'm not afraid to tell you that. I didn't get invited to WrestleMania this year. I threatened to beat up Tiffany Stratton's husband last year. I wasn't allowed to go. A 24-year-old kid being threatened by a 76-year-old man, and I can't go to WrestleMania. Are you kidding me? That English kid, he's going to go as far in wrestling as a net. He'll be a fly on the wall in a year.
What happened there?
Well, they had that thing, where Tiffany made a smart remark about Ashley's divorces, which we both know she's not smart enough to have written. Somebody gave her a script. And then he implied that, I'm just going based on social media, once again, which there's a lot, that he was implying that he wouldn't bum one off Ashley. And I went, okay, I need your number. I got it, which I can get anybody's number I want any minute of any day. And I called him. I said, hey, when I see you, I'm going to beat the shit out of you. So he went like a little bitch, told Hunter, and I wasn't allowed to go.
So since then, he's
going to really go far in the business. A 76-year-old man tells a 24-year-old kid he's going to kick his ass. And where is he now? Is he even on the roster?
Is this Ludwig Kaiser?
Yeah, little punk.
He's actually in Mexico right now.
I'm sure he is. I hope he stays.
So since then, since that interaction, you've been told to stay away?
No, but I just, I know this is sad to say, but because of the relationships I have with guys like Taker, who's real, Austin, who's real, and all this, if you were behind the lines, like, even though I'm not there, I know everything because I know everybody. There should be a red carpet for me, a red carpet to the front row. And that's how I feel about it. What my contributions to this business and the work that I put in, hours of trying to make wrestling something that it is today. And I got to have problems with politics. Give me a break. Come on. I mean, I'm not mad at anybody. I understand it's politics now. It's too much politics and not enough wrestling.
Did you ask to attend this past weekend?
No, but I asked. Dennis Rodman called me and said, "Will you induct me in the Hall of Fame?" And I sent to the powers that be. Dennis wants me to induct me. I never got a call back.
And in the end, I think it was Kevin Nash and Sean Waltman who did it.
Yes, and I'm very happy for Kevin and Sean.
But Dennis said he wanted you.
I never even got a call back.
Wow. Do you think that stems from the interaction with Ludwig from last year, or do you think there's a bigger issue here?
I think there's a lack of respect. And I think there are so many people under fire right now, they're all ducking and dodging.
Do you think it's coming from one person in particular, two people? Who do you think is dictating this?
I don't know. All I know is that it seems like people, they hate the fact that I'm so relevant. They hate the fact that I signed more autographs this weekend at Wrestling Con than anybody. They hate the fact I did a pool party with 3,000 beautiful women. With Diplo, you tell me.
Look at you up there, Rick.
Yeah,
Still got it.
What do they hate?
Look at that. And I did see, and this one kind of struck a chord because I love Roots of Fight. I did see you post a couple weeks ago that there's an issue there with your Roots of Fight gear.
They never called me.
For those that missed it, what's going on here and where does it stand?
I woke up this morning and find out because 10 people called me that Roots of Fight had to drop me. And then I got a very long extended text from Jesse saying, I apologize. They bought the company and I have nothing to do with it. Thank you. And that pissed me off. Not even a call. And sometimes I think, and I believe this in my heart, there are exclusions. There's some people that have done so much to help so many people and influence so many personalities that I could get cut a break. It's not a financial deal with it. You don't make a lot of money with the fight. It's prestige. It's Muhammad Ali, right? I mean, it's Ric Flair. I go down the list. And I was the number 2 seller behind Muhammad Ali. So why not just say, hey, Rick, we can't use you? A simple phone call.
Do you have any idea why they can't use you? Because I just saw Undertaker gear, Stone Cold gear, Rock gear. Why wouldn't Ric Flair's gear? That would make a lot of sense. Why wouldn't
they just put them on? Now they just add on who they want to. Not that those guys don't deserve it. Make no mistake. Taker, Steve, all those guys. But now the WWE wants to control everybody. Just does what they want to do. Those 3 guys I agree with. I agree with Punk. I agree with Brett. I mean, I try not to have any animosity with anybody, but how? Just be quite honest with you. How do you not have risk enough for me to call me and say, I'm sorry, Rick, we can't do you anymore? That's what I call lack of respect.
How's your relationship with Triple H these days?
Well, it's good. I mean, we exchange pleasantries, but here's the deal with Triple H. He did so much for me. He did so much for me after Bischoff destroyed me. And when he brought me into the company, which he did, I think more than Vince did, we did Revolution, restored my confidence, because Bischoff had completely killed me. So I can't get mad at him. Our relationship not the same, but he has a lot on his plate. It's running the WWE and being in charge of this and that and constantly being scrutinized. I mean, if I look at my page, I get nothing. I get punks like fucking Stevie, what's his name? Stevie Richards and Zeb Coulter, whatever his name is, or what's the guy's name?
Yes, with the big beard. He was with Jack Swagger.
Yeah.
The name is escaping me, but I know exactly who you're talking about.
For a guy that has suffered serious health problems, not as serious as mine, I would keep my mouth shut. Because if you don't have a legacy, you can't talk about a legacy. And he and Stevie Richards and that little jack off, what's the kid's name that does the interviews for him? Oh, God. I call him the peanut shell. The guy that does the interviews for Zeb.
Zeb, by the way, is Dutch Mantel.
I know, Dutch Mantel, yeah.
Yes. And so
now I understand. I'll tell you a great story. I love it.
Please.
We're in Marietta, Georgia. And Lex Luger used to always speak of himself in the third person. And you look at Jack Mulligan, who was the agent, and he goes, why would a Lex Luger wrestle a, what's his real name again?
Dutch?
Dutch
Mantel.
And now I understand. Now I understand why Luger said it. Who in the fuck is Dutch Mantel? A fuzzball with serious health problems that should mind his own business. And Stevie Richards, my little finger is bigger than his neck.
So these guys are talking about you online, and it's getting to you and bothering you.
No, it doesn't bother me. I laugh at it. How could it bother me? Who are they? You got to be. I just talked to. I was just in Vegas, and I just talked to Donald Trump on the phone myself. Do I give a shit about those guys? They don't even have Donald's number.
What was the context there?
I can call Charles Barkley. I can call Shaq. I can call. There's no name somebody famous that I can. Mark Wahlberg. I mean, I can call anybody because I've earned their respect. Darius Rucker, Kid Rock, Snoop Dogg. I have all their numbers right here on speed dial. These guys don't know anything and don't know shit. But the only way they make a dime, and I'm sure it's a minimal amount of money, is by cracking on people that are successful. And the older you get, and the more successful you stay, and the more relevant you stay, the more jealous they get.
I thought, by the way, when you were listing all those names, I thought you were going to say Ariel Helwani too. You know, like Kid Rock, Donald Trump, Charles Barkley.
No, I doubt that.
I was waiting.
I think he's very relevant.
Yes, no. Thank you. I appreciate that. I appreciate that. I'm just kidding, of course. Can I ask about the phone call with the president? What was that about?
No, you're like great. Did you realize that I thought you were the one that bought the company? Do you remember I saw you at Mania in Los Angeles, and I thought you were the guy that bought the company.
You thought I was Ari Emanuel?
Yeah.
I'm not quite there. I'm on my way, Rick. I'm on my way.
You walk out of the dressing room and I say, congratulations. You said, for what? For buying the company.
We're sort of on this.
Look, what's his first name?
Ari.
Who's the president of that company?
It's Ariel, and Ari is short for it. Yeah. Same as me.
Yeah. It was you.
Well,
in my mind, you still own it.
I appreciate that.
Can I go next year? Can you give me tickets next year, please?
I would do anything you want. You want to go to Saudi Arabia though? Are you interested in that?
No.
That's where Mania is.
I only go, you know the deal. 20,000 an hour, 2-hour minimum.
That's a good deal. That's a good rate right there. That's a good rate. How do we fix this, Rick?
It works.
How do we fix this? How do we get you? You need to be celebrated, as you said. The red carpet needs to be rolled out for you. How do we get you back in the good graces of everyone and treated with the respect that you deserve?
I don't think I'm in bad graces with any of the talent. I don't think I'm in bad graces with Hunter. But here's the deal. One of my favorite heels of all time, and I honestly believe, she is one of the top 10 heels in the history of the business, was Stephanie McMahon. I needed to be there. I needed to be there because I tell her all the time, and brother, when she wants to be a heel, she can be the biggest heel in the world. When she wants to be a babyface, she can be both. But believe me, Vince raised her to be tough, and I could tell you some personal stories involving us where I would ask Vince if she could leave the room, and he'd say no. I want her to hear what's going on.
Did you see her speech?
Yes.
Did you like it?
Yes. But I don't think it did her justice in terms of who she is. She's a phenomenal person, number one, a very caring person, number two. She can be the most insensitive bitch in the world, but in real life, she's not. She's a very loving, nice person.
Did you see when she mentioned her father, a lot of the fans were chanting?
Did
you see when she mentioned her father, a lot of the fans were chanting, "Thank you, Vince." And that seems to be a sentiment that's growing. Are you?
They should. They should all be thanking Vince. Everybody in the world that likes wrestling should be thanking Vince McMahon.
Have you talked to him in the recent months?
No, I'm not. I feel like there's so much going on that I would be wasting his time. He knows how I feel about him. He lent me 800 grand, and unlike what people portray, it was not for the IRS. It was to help me get through 3 divorces at one time. But the thing of it is, they hate hearing this. I paid him back every dime. When he called me and said, I can write this off, I paid him back because I didn't want to let him down. But they used that against me. When I would negotiate a contract, I'd go, Rick, that's old news. Well, it ain't old news. You know how hard it is to pay taxes on 800 grand in phantom income tax? In phantom income? It took me 5 years to get out of that hole. All because I paid him back. Took my WrestleMania check, gave it to me. I signed it and gave it back to him. He said, you don't have to do that. I said, I told you I'd pay you back. I'm paying you back.
How long ago was this?
After I wrestled Sean in 2008.
Okay. By the way, I heard, correct me if I'm wrong, I heard you and Arn Anderson kind of reconciled and are back friends. Is that accurate?
I didn't know we weren't ever friends.
Okay.
We just went different ways. Does that make sense?
Yes, of course. But I think a lot of people associate.
I got divorced, and we both now have suffered the loss of a son. And how do you ever get over that? I spoke with him there. Never went different ways. It to me is one of the most underrated performers in the history of the business.
Mm-hmm.
But here's the deal: when people go on these documentaries and say, "Oh God, without Ric Flair, there's no Four Horsemen," okay, or like Hulk said, it's called diminishing. Like if I left, they wouldn't be driving Mercedes; they'd be driving. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
And that's got to hurt because it's not true. Iron was every big a part of the show with me all day long.
When you watch the product now, do you enjoy what you see?
I enjoy everything but what I see what they're doing with my daughter. Well, I take that back. I enjoy some of it.
Okay.
My problem is that I think they spend too much time to validate NXT, and nobody knows who anybody is. And even me, because I watch the shows so that I can communicate with my daughter on a semi-intelligent level without her calling me a dumbass, which she has no problem doing. But I don't know who half the people are. And it's you have to remember when you train in NXT, you go work out with the same guys 3 days a week for a couple of years, and then you're asked to get into the ring, and you may have one shot or two at the most, especially when Vince was there, to prove who you are, what makes you different, and what you can bring to the table.
One of the products of NXT, Obafemi, has kind of stolen the show. Have you been impressed with him?
Is that the guy that beat Lesnar?
Yes.
Yeah. I don't know him personally, but it's one of those things with me with that is I wonder if he could really beat Lesnar. Brock's a badass, brother. Don't you think about that when you watch that?
Of course, yeah. He's a big boy.
Doesn't matter how big a boy he is.
Sure.
Brock's a UFC champion. There's a big difference between being a big boy and winning the UFC.
Sure. He put him over well.
Brock Lesnar, I can tell you right. Brock Lesnar, oh, I'm sure he will. I haven't heard him interview yet, but I heard it's okay. But Brock Lesnar is one of the three greatest athletes in the history of the company since I've known it.
Wow. Who are the three? Brock and?
My daughter, Ashley.
Mm-hmm.
And Shawn Michaels.
Wow. Do you think Brock's really retired?
My daughter asked, I got at 5'11" and 150 pounds. You've seen the corkscrew moonsault, right?
Of course, yeah.
Who can do that? And she's understood what she's learned, which takes years sometimes, is to keep the work in the middle of the ring. When you're by the ropes, you can't do shit. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
So you always need to work towards the center of the ring. And she's learned that. She's confident. She's a great heel, but they want her to be the good guy. I don't know why. Because does anybody dress like Ashley? And be honest.
No, I mean her outfits.
Is her robe second to none?
Yep.
She wears the most glamorous stuff. She's got the best figure. She stays in the greatest shape. She can do 100 push-ups right now without taking a break.
Can I ask you back to Lesnar for a moment? Do you think he really has retired?
I don't know.
What do you
I
think?
feel like calling her, but I don't want to bother him.
Sure.
I think Rock is a very private person, and he's got that beautiful place in Canada where he raises beef and that. He's very happy with Sable. I don't know. He's got the money to retire. I just think because he's been such a competitive, great athlete that he'll sit home for a couple months and go, shit. Kind of like Ronda. Ronda's coming back.
Yeah.
Once you've done that at that level, it's very hard to walk away. I mean, I have never been able to walk away from wrestling. After 40 years, I know, and people say, oh, Ric Flair is out drinking every day. Ric Flair's doing it. Well, that's not the truth. I drink because I want to drink. I drink to maintain my sanity. I don't do cocaine. I don't do speed. Everybody's got a coping mechanism. I like to drink, but when I'm working, I don't drink. You never hear about me showing up working drinking. I just have fun. I'm 77. WTF?
Do you feel healthy?
Hell yeah, man. Hey, I just did 500 free squats this morning.
Wow. Jeez Louise.
Yeah, I can still go.
There was a rumor of some like Rock and Roll Express reunion match or something like that involving you. Was there any truth to that?
I said it in joking.
Okay.
I said, after my last match, which was terrible because I had a heart attack. You know that, right?
In the match?
I had a heart attack during that match with Lethal and Jarrett.
I didn't realize you had it in the match.
I had it, yeah, I passed out twice. And so when I got back, I went to the heart doctor and he said, you had a heart attack. I said, it didn't hurt. They don't always hurt. So now I take medicine because only one half of my heart is pumping, and he's got me on a new medication. But I mean, if something happens to me tomorrow, the one thing I've done right is my estate planning is perfect. My intellectual property to be the man, all that bullshit is worth millions. And I got a lot of money in the bank. And I'm happy. And I have a world of friends. How many people at 77 have a world of friends? Doctors, lawyers. I have two girls that work for me, Sandra and Kaylee. I call them the East Coast, West Coast connection. They take tremendous care of me. And like it never ceases. I just got another gig to go to Canada for 3 days for a lot of money. So I'm happy as can be. I'm happier when I'm working, but I don't mind the time off. This weekend I'm going to ride my boat. I'm home for the weekend. I'm going to ride my boat for 3 straight days. I got a $300,000 boat I've been on 4 times in the last year. The weather's been so bad.
You know, everyone has a Ric Flair memory, a favorite moment, a favorite
That Ric Flair story, I know. It's like, ask me.
I'm curious, how do you want to be remembered, Rick? What do you want your legacy to be?
Well, my legacy. I got asked that the other day when I was doing this show with Giannis. I just wanted people to think that I gave my life to the business. I made sacrifices. I made bad decisions, a lot of them with women, but I sacrificed my life, my body. And as an example, from 83 to 85, I had 17 days off.
Wow.
That's wrestling an hour every day. One time I turned into my accountant that I wrestled 425 times. He goes, Rick, what are you, smoking weed? I said, no, twice on Saturday, twice on Sunday, twice on Wednesday. I wrestled Ricky Morton 9-hour draws in 1 week. 2 on Saturday and 2 on Sunday. I wrestled Ricky Steamboat. 8-hour Broadways and 190-minute Broadway.
Golly.
Yeah, I've done it all. I wrestled Bruiser Brody 175 times for an hour each time. The kids today couldn't even get in the ring with him. He'd squash them like a grape. The only guy I could think of in the company that could hang at Brody would be Lesnar. Bruiser was 6'6", 290, 300 pounds. Brother, he was a bad man. That's the Undertaker.
Just for fun sometimes, do you ever sit back and pull up some of those old matches to watch, reminisce?
I never looked at that. I swear to God. This was a very arrogant thing to say. I didn't ever look at the match because I knew how good it was. No, all I can say to you is that if they're talking about a trilogy of matches with me and Steamboat 40 years later, we must have done something right.
You mentioned Undertaker. He's doing big things in Mexico with AAA. He's getting a lot of praise for his booking. Have you been looking at what he's doing, paying attention to that?
Yeah. If they let go of Hunter and Taker is physically able to do it, he should be the next head of talent, head of a creative.
Wow. But you don't think Hunter should leave, though, right? You don't think Hunter should leave?
No. But
you're saying he's the next in line.
No, I'm saying if something happens with Hunter.
Got you.
Because, God, he has some very serious health issues as well. You know that, right?
Yes.
Nothing's guaranteed. That's why people say to me, why do you go so hard? Why do you work out? Why do you drink? Why do you stay out all night in Las Vegas? Because tomorrow's not guaranteed. What else? What else have I got to left? Okay, let me ask you a question. If I died today, what would you say about me tomorrow?
Me personally?
About my career?
Yes. Well, first of all, I'd just like to say, God forbid, when we talk about those things.
No.
I hope you live to 120.
Leave that out.
Okay. I would say you are, without a shadow of a doubt, one of the greatest professional wrestlers of all time. In many people's eyes, the greatest professional wrestlers of all time. I also will correct myself and say that you are a 21-time world champion, not a 16-time world champion.
Which is true.
Yes, so I apologize.
You got to pay, but they force you to play by their guidelines. They weren't in Santo Domingo fighting Jack Bonango. They weren't in Trinidad fighting Brody and Victor Zavica. They weren't in New Zealand fighting Harley Race. When Harley goes to me, Ariel, did you ever know Harley, Ariel?
I did not, unfortunately.
So Harley goes, and let me tell you something right now. If you locked Harley Race and the big black guy from yesterday, or whatever his name is, and Brock Lesnar in a cage, and said nothing but first man out, you know what it'd be?
Harley.
Harley will bite your nose, your ear, take your tonsils out, and your eye. And I've seen him do all three. Not tonsils, but
yeah.
He was fearless. He loved being the world champion. You could not walk into a bar with Harley without him starting a fight. I go, let's just drink beer. Let's chase girls. Let's have fun. I want to play pool. Hey, hold my chair, kid. I'll be right back. He'd walk over to a fucking pool table at Billy Bob's in Fort Worth. There's 10 people standing there. He'd pick up a cue, chalk it up, knock everybody else's quarter off the fucking table, put his table on and say, I'm next. Problem. I swear to God. We had to fight the whole SMU football team together one night.
I love these memories. Can I ask, when you think back, what was your favorite stretch of your career? Year, 2 year, what era, what chapter? When you think back, when were you the happiest?
Oh, the 80s. 80s. I didn't, Ariel, I didn't go to bed in the 80s. I'm not sure I've slept yet. Brother, we were the Beatles, man. The four horsemen coming to town. Ladies and gentlemen, the Marriott Hotel tonight. 18 to 28, no boyfriends, no husbands. LFG.
What a legend. There's that.
Yeah, no kidding. That fucking, I've lost 4 Rolexes hanging out with Undertaker, that son of a bitch.
What do you mean? What do you mean? With the Undertaker? Why?
Because I used to get drunk with him, and then, what's the name? Kurt Hennig and roofing me, and
What?
I woke up one night in Baltimore with 2 girls. My wallet was gone, my rental gone. So I'm married, right? So I'm gonna go, okay, girls, what the fuck? Where's my shit? Oh, you threw your Rolex in a bowl of spaghetti last night at Sabatino's. Said you had 13 of them. Well, what am I gonna do? Call the cops? I'm married, you know. I mean, like.
Well, why'd you say? You said Kurt Hennig roofied you?
Yeah. He roofied me on the plane ride from hell, too, brother. Hey, and Ariel?
Yes.
You can find enough money. I'll tell you the whole story.
Golly.
About those people. I got it all. Those girls that sued me, if I had a decent lawyer back then, shit. But I had lost my memory after being sick and all that, you know. But hey, can I just say something? You can't take 4 beautiful women, which they were, on a 7-day tour with 25 wrestlers. Sorry. It just doesn't stack up.
So, speaking of which, the cannabis company, I think there's a lawsuit pending as well. Where does that stand?
What's that?
You know, I think there was a cannabis company that you were a part of, and I think that you, Mike Tyson.
Yeah, they owe me and Mike $12 million.
Where does that stand?
It stands with one guy having federal, both under federal investigation. One guy indicted by the grand jury, but what does that mean? My end of it would be $5 million. Mike's would be mine wouldn't be 4. Mike's would be 6.
Okay.
No, mine would be 4. Mike would be 8.
You know, in that tweet when you talked about roots.
Somebody write it because it's tax free. If I got $5 million tomorrow, Ariel, I would fly to you, pick you up in a private jet, take you to where in Colombia you live? Take you to Mary Jean in Colombia. We'd never come back.
What? Well, what would happen there? I've never been on a private jet before. Could you believe that?
Well, I have many times.
Yes, I know.
If you don't know about Mary Jane?
What? No, I don't.
You don't. How do I explain it? Well, Google it.
Well, I've heard of it.
Lots of women and lots of fun.
Yeah. You know that.
I'll pick you up, brother. We'll go.
What a time.
Are you married?
I am.
Are you married?
Yes.
Well, just tell you what. You sing to your wife as you walk out the door. Did he ever return? No, he never returned. And his fate is still unknown. He took off with the Nature Boy to Colombia. And they've yet to be returned.
Oh my gosh. This is incredible.
Hey,
Yes.
who's the most entertaining motherfucker you've ever in your show?
You're the best. I don't want to say goodbye. You know that famous Wilt Chamberlain 10,000 number?
Wilt?
Wilt the still.
I blew by him and I was 39.
What? 39. You're double now.
Well, hey, I can't listen. The one thing I want to make sure of you, they weren't all 10s. There was a couple of heavyweights along the way, but it was in a small town.
Just a couple, right? Just a couple.
Yeah, I don't remember their names. I don't want them to remember mine.
Rick, what a life. What a life. You're blessed.
Oh, you have no idea. No idea.
This trip to Colombia sounds fantastic.
That's good. That's good. I'll book it.
That would be something. Can I ask you?
Where you live? Where are you in Hawaii now?
No, we're in New York City.
Where are you living now?
New York City.
I'll come pick you up.
Good memories in New York. I'm sure you've had some great memories here.
I may take you. I may take you without the 4 million.
Wow.
We'll do a live podcast from down there.
Oh, you just enjoy my company so much.
You're a gentleman.
I appreciate that. Can I ask you?
And you know what I like about you?
Tell me.
No. Why podcasts like this with you are because you actually understand and know the business. So many of these jackoffs, and I got to keep going back to what's his name? Stevie Richards. Jesus Christ. Wrestling legend. When they say that shit, or what's his name again? I keep drawing. It draws a blank. It's so. The guy's been in such bad health. I call him GoFundMe. You know what I'm talking about.
Dutch
guy
Mantel.
with the mustache.
Dutch Mantel.
Dutch. Yeah. I actually like Dutch Mantel, but he just. If you have any notoriety and you're approximately the same age, they're jealous and they always want to find a way to crack on you. And I didn't go on a rant. I just said, here's the deal. Nobody called me. I'm the only wrestler that did a 30 for 30, still rank in the top 25. A documentary, Emmy nominated, right? I should have won, but I lost to the dream team, so I lost to 5 people, right?
Yep.
I mean, what more can I do for the business? I text Taker the other day because he had his 60th birthday, and I said, thank you so much for bringing me back to life at WrestleMania 18. And he said, thank you. It's not everybody in the world that has an opportunity to wrestle with the GOAT at WrestleMania. That's coming from Mark Calloway.
Yeah.
One of the 2 or 3 biggest players in the history of the business. In my experience, I wrestled Buddy Rogers, I wrestled Lou Thez, I wrestled Pat O'Connor, I wrestled Bruiser Brody, Dick the Bruiser. I've named them all. There's nobody I haven't wrestled. And I've wrestled guys that can't tie their shoes for an hour trying to hold them up. For years. Try doing 9-hour Broadways in a week and being sane. And then Ricky Morton show up naked with a girl in my robe at 3 a.m. Hello.
Wow. The memories. You did mention in that tweet when you talked about Route to Fight, you mentioned Tony Khan and you gave him thanks. Can I ask your opinion of Tony and AEW right now?
Well, I don't follow as closely as I should. When I meant thanks to Tony Khan, he would call me. He would say, Rick, we bought Roots to Fight. We can't use you. Tony Khan is one of the greatest people I've ever met in my life. And you know what? I wouldn't be surprised because he has the money to do it if he doesn't buy WWE one day. The Khan family's got more money than God. You know that, right?
Mm-hmm. They're very wealthy. Yes.
That $9 billion price on the WWE is nothing to Shad Khan. But more than that, Tony's provided an opportunity for guys that would never get a chance to work anywhere else because the WWE is a very difficult, very selective organization. And Tony has offered all these opportunities, and he pays the guys good. And all he cares about is making a product and making sure his people are happy. He's a very personable guy.
Have you ever seen this MJF character on his show? I think he's tremendous.
Yeah, I do too. I love him too.
Great heel, right?
Yeah.
Old school in a way. He reminds me of one of the guys that you were going up against in the 80s. Roddy Piper-esque.
No, he's very good. And he had a little bit of an ego problem, but he's calmed that down now.
Okay.
When I see him, it's like, hey, Mr. Flair and shit like that. You know what I mean? He used to blow by me like I was just, but it's a whole different world. And I'm very, very, very proud of his success, as I am all the guys there. They have a lot of great talent there.
Good for the business to have other places, right? You were WCW, you were NWA, WWE's doing their thing. It's good to have other places for the boys.
Yes.
Well, this has been phenomenal. Do you feel like
Thank you.
Do you feel like we've gotten everything?
Everything.
Out? I mean,
if you think of something else, call me tomorrow, brother. I'm ready to go.
Well, you're a gentleman. I appreciate that very much. In my my people.
Hey, and you are a very knowledgeable, respectful gentleman that I appreciate to have the opportunity to be on your program.
That means the world to me.
Yeah.
Rick, I want to wish you the best to you and your family, your daughter, everyone. Nothing but good health and happiness. And I'll reiterate what I said at the top. You do deserve that red carpet, and I hope that you get that, and I hope that you get that love and respect, and I hope you know that there are millions upon millions of people out there. Maybe you don't feel it from one particular entity, but please know that there are millions and millions of people out there that love and respect you.
I don't think about it.
I get that.
I'm not sitting here going, I'm sitting here right now with a beautiful girl from Colombia that works for me, that does everything in the world, a beautiful woman with 3 children that works for me. It's because I have no technical skills at all, set this up. And I have friends. Friends are everything. When you get my age, I got 78 texts on my birthday at 77. Who gets that?
You deserve that. You deserve that.
I appreciate you. And keep in mind that I think the world of you, and I respect the fact that you have the wisdom and knowledge to talk about the business intelligently. And I want everybody to know I got no hard feelings. I don't need to have them. I'm who I am. I've tried. I certainly have failed at marriage. I've failed at being a good father at times, but only because of my travel, my schedule, and and they've all come to realize that. And I am the father of two of the most beautiful daughters in the world. One of them is the greatest woman wrestler that ever lived, and will be forever.
God bless you, Rick. All the best. Thank you so much for this. Take care. We'll talk to you soon.
Ariel,
Yes, sir.
here's to you, brother.
Thank you.
Woo!
Wow. The great Ric Flair. Take care. There he is, the nature boy. Golly. Could you imagine? WrestleMania 18, that match that he was talking about regarding the match between him and The Undertaker. I was in the fourth to last row of the Sky Dome, WrestleMania 18, in Toronto, 2002. Imagine telling that kid in 2002, junior year of Syracuse, showed up to the WrestleMania fan access, trying to take pictures with everyone with my disposable camera, that some 24, 25 years later, the nature boy would give me a here's to ya and a woo. I mean, come on. What a life. And as he acknowledges, there have been mishaps, well documented, some probably not as well, all kinds of, I mean, this man has lived 15 lives. But I do think that he's one of the greatest ever. I don't really think that's a hot take. I mean, everyone has him on their top 5, Mount Rushmore, whatever you want to say. And I would love to see him in the best of graces with WWE, with AEW, with any professional wrestling organization out there. He should be at a Hall of Fame. He should be in the front row. He should be celebrated. There aren't many Ric Flairs left, especially at his age. And yeah, he should feel that. I know he says he doesn't care. He should feel that. No doubt about it. Thanks for watching this video. Before you go, if you haven't already, hit that subscribe button for us. Also, give us a thumbs up, leave a nice comment. These things go a long way. And while you're here, do check out the rest of the channel. We've got live shows and full interviews, clips, and a whole lot more. We're doing big things here, and we appreciate your support very much.